set up a rappel? Go, Jake.
Let's look first at the rappel system itself,
Shall we?
which is hooked back here on the eye bolt, 2 steels, bowline, follow the 2 ropes down to the participant, pan.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
I'm getting a close-up.
Zoom,
Okay, pan, zoom.
and pan,
Okay.
2 ropes through the 8 to the brake hand of the participant.
Paul Birdie, participant
Extraordinaire.
extraordinaire.
Parallel to this system is the belayer setup. Now, on a well-built course, there'd be an eye bolt right here. So imagine that that's hooked to an eye bolt right here.
That was subtle, Jake.
Here's this is the Todd Tower tie-in, which is a one-armed lobster claw hooked to the back of the belayer.
Thank you.
Ooh, baby.
The belayer, for safety reasons, is also hooked in with a regular claw on some nearby guy, meaning guy wire, not guy.
Huh.
Thank you, Amy.
N-O-T, not I
Thank you, Professor.
Belayer has ropes stacked at the feet.
It's neat.
Thank
Lots
you.
of feet.
Coming up to a stitch plate. Going to a figure 8 follow through the belay loop above the rappel system.
It's the rope on top because it is a...
Top
belay.
Yeah, say that. That made sense.
Okay.
Okay, right now the participant is still hooked into their claws.
I notice you're using 2 different types of rope, Jake. I'm curious about that.
Well, it's just easier to keep them separate, and as a real fan of the top belay, I choose to have it in the brighter, flashier, prettier color.
Okay.
Note the integrity in my eyes.
Okay, let's get a close-up of that integrity. All right. Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, in terms of instructing, I'm just going to ask, I'm going to pan here to Paul, Mr. Trainer, anything that you want to make sure that you communicate when you're up here with participants? We haven't really talked about that, but...
I want the participant to know that they are in control of this system and that they will be lowering themselves from this 2-line rappel, that they are connected to a facilitator as a backup, and that's what it is it is a backup system. They are not the primary belayer. So Jake's responsibility facilitator is only that if for any reason this system would have some kind of trouble, that he's there to back him up. Other than that, he will not impede his progress, and he is in control of she is in control of the rappel as they choose to be.
Okay, excellent. Anything to add, anybody? That's the quietest you guys have been all day.
Just turn the camera on and
Okay.
slow the discussion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Rappelling 101.
we all?
Thank you, guys.
I'm going to start rigging them up. If y'all have some other, what we need to do, what you do is you have a rope,
This is the flying
static
squirrel.
rope preferably, and you tie the participant onto one end, and then you tie a big loop on the other, big enough to go around a person's waist, the facilitator's waist. And you can tie it with a, if you don't tie a big enough bowline or bite, figure 8 follow through usually works better, or you can clip it straight onto the facilitator's harness if they're wearing a harness. So the facilitator needs to be clipped directly into the rope. Then you tie the other end of the people, and then the rest of the group grabs the rope right in front of the facilitator, and they start raising the person up in the air. And the person's in control. They telling them, hey, let me go higher or lower. So it's kind of a trust activity. And if you're sitting there on the end of a rope, it is a trust activity because you're depending on them not to raise you up and smash you into the cable or in this case, into this platform. This would be a place where you could do this activity. Say you had somebody that wasn't able to climb the wall due to some type of accident, or they had a disability or something. This would be one way to get them up here. Either on the climbing wall side, you could hook it up over there and they could kind of climb a little bit while the rest of the group helped them up. They'd be on a separate belay. Well, no, and that is, if you set it up this way, they don't have to be on a separate belay. That's one reason for this cable here.
It's a backup
Yeah, if
solution.
you
That's a
choose
backup.
to use the pulley by itself, they need to be on a separate belay rope also besides the raising rope. But this gives you, your backup so that just the group and the facilitator clipped into it. That's real critical. So if the group says, decides to go to lunch, it's going to have to drag that facilitator across the ground as this guy goes down.
That's
But
what's-
the guy won't go
So
down
it is a
very-
squirrel drag.
Yeah,
You're right.
it's a facilitator drag. So this is essentially all you do. We'll have you one of these carabiners so that your
Well,
pulleys.
let me understand it. That's hooked into the participant, that end.
Either this, I would put if this was set up for this wall, I would put the facilitator on this one because the people are going to be out that way pulling. They're going to be walking away. The whole group grabs and starts walking away with the rope.
I'm missing the tie-up for the facilitator. Is there
Yeah,
anything
I
I'm
am
misunderstanding?
Ditto.
You're tied in where the. You're just going around.
I would put it
If
right,
you don't
just
have
clip
a
into their harness would be the best way to do it.
All right,
if
so
they're
you-
not wearing a harness, then you just tie a bowline or something.
Right, around you as
around the
facilitator.
facilitator. They need to be tied onto the rope, either
Okay.
through their harness or a figure eight follow through or
Okay.
something. And then,
So-
then they get down there, the rest of the group gets down there, grabs the rope, and they all start going off into the woods or an open area. You'd want an open
So
area.
you're tied
Say
on-
you had a kid that wanted to ride the zip line. There's no reason a kid, just because he's in a chair or something, can't ride the zip line. So bring him up either here or there with this system. The rest of the group, they're empowered to help raise him. Doesn't take that many. Then, you can get over there. There may be a way you could actually run it up over there and get them, if you ran it off of this blade cable right here, they'd come up right, and you clip this end, one of these ends, say back in here, so that the pulley can't move out any further on the cable. So that's going to bring them right up. Take that turnbuckle loose. You got a perfect place right here to get kids up on that platform to ride the zip line.
Yeah.
Okay,
But-
what I'm missing, Bobby, and I'm sorry, is I got a kid on the ground.
Yeah.
He's tied into a figure eight follow through.
He's tied.
Or into his
No,
harness.
he's tied into his harness.
Well, I know it, but into his harness with a
I-
figure eight
bo-
follow
the
through.
bowline on the bite.
Bowline on the
Always
bite,
used
okay.
on
He's
this
tied in
end.
with a bowline on the
But
bite.
you're the kid right now. You're tied into it. There you are. Okay. So you're down there and you want to come up.
All right. Now, where's the facilitator?
They're over there.
Other
Okay,
end
the
of the rope.
facilitator. is
They're at
down
the other
there.
end of the road.
I got another facilitator up here, okay. And that facilitator
And
is
the
the
group.
anchor.
He's just there for
Like
the
a tug
anchor.
of war.
Okay,
anchor.
and,
drag.
and I'm tied in, like you're saying,
Down
and
there.
there's another person, all the kids are between me and the
Yeah.
person on the,
Yeah.
on the
All they're
pulley.
going to do is just walk
I got
off that way, pulling on this rope like this, and it's going to be raising you up.
And it sounds like it's important that they walk away when they lift as opposed to pulling down when they lift.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
it's
your anchor
pretty
does
hard.
no good.
Everybody can't
It's
grab
not
on.
easy.
Yeah, you don't want to just pull in slack.
Right.
You want to walk.
In order to be a
They all
good
hold
anchor,
on.
you got to get away.
Another thing, if the
Yeah,
rope's real
okay, that's
steep,
what I
not
was-
that many
yeah.
people can get their hands on the rope.
I'm
So you want to get
confused.
further away so the rope goes off at a less angle so
Okay.
more kids can get their hands on
Cool.
the rope.
Now, when you say facilitators at one of the rope, does it have to be facilitator?
No,
I'm missing
if
that
they're
part.
clipped in
I mean, it's
safely,
the
I
same
would-
as having a belayer.
I would let anybody, it doesn't have to be a full, they don't have to do any belaying. They just have to be a weight, the person that's doing
Right.
Any responsible person
Anyway,
or heavy person, clip them in directly. This isn't for this video's not going out to the,
No, it's not being
NBC.
published and mailed out.
just, you need a weight on the end of the rope, just in case the kids, they never mess up. Here I am telling y'all this, I've never seen this activity done. I just heard about it.
yeah, you want that?
never messed up. Oh, but I've never seen it done.
This is the video that
You've
shows
done
up
it
in
before.
court.
Did you do it this way or did you all do it?
My only concern about the tie-in, Bobby, is I don't like the concept of just, if I was going to be the last person, the anchor person, I'd have them wear a harness and be tied in.
Yeah,
Because
they
they
can
go
all
around the
anything
waist,
around their waist.
and they become the real anchor pole.